and welcome back to the Wardenburn YouTube channel. My name is Emily, and today we're going to be having a little bit of a WIPs review and just some chatting and thinking through some of my thoughts and feelings on knitting at the moment, if you will. So this is going to be quite a chatty video, just a little all about knitting, all the knitting and crocheting. There's a little bit of crocheting. So grab a lovely cozy cup of tea or coffee if that's your drink of choice, or hot chocolate. That's also a great one. I haven't had that one in probably a couple of years now, but it is one of my all-time favorites. And maybe a cozy snack and a lovely project to work on, or you can just listen while you're doing some laundry or dishes or various other household tasks. That is what I often do with podcasts. And let's just get started. My plan is we are going to go through all of the WIPs that I have on the needles, and I'm going to be a little bit ruthless about frogging them. I'm going to pulling them out and reviewing them, looking at them. I know it's a bit of a cliche maybe at this point to talk about the whole sparking joy, but there are definitely some projects in here that are making me feel a little bit heavy about my knitting and a little bit unhappy with it. And there are projects in here that make me thrilled and very happy with knitting. So we're going to be doing a ruthless cull of the WIPs, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about my thoughts and plans going forward. I have had a lot of thoughts the last few weeks since I finished my last test knit. I think that finishing up the test knits actually gave me the mental breathing space to really think about my knitting and crocheting and yarn crafting habits and come to a couple of realizations. So we're just gonna grab these randomly. The first one here is my circle cardigan. This is not going to be frogged. I haven't been working on it a ton recently. This is one that I'm just kind of slowly picking up and working on if and when I feel like it. And it's lovely. So that's the circle cardigan by Albina McLaughlin. Lovely pattern. I'm very excited about that one. So that one is staying. This is actually not a project at all. This is a empty project bag that used to have a project in it and does not anymore. So that one just needs to get emptied. I think this one's the same. Yes. These are just, oh, that's where my tape measure went. I was looking for that. So those just need to get emptied out, which is the other part of why I wanted to go through all of these, because I think I knew there were at least those two bags that I just need to put away. Okay. This is one that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be frogging. I still keep going back and forth on this, but it's so pretty. It is so pretty. I do love that. I love this stitch pattern. This was the beginnings of a test knit that I was doing for Holly of Mystery Mouse Yarn Co. for her advent calendar last year. She did this cute little capelet thing, and this was like the middle panel that went down the back. This would be such a beautiful sweater. Like, oh, I do really love this. However, I've been thinking about it, and my plan was I had ripped out another section that I had done because I was like, you know what, I really, with the time-wise and everything, the pattern wasn't done in enough time for me to finish test knitting it in time. And so it was not a finished, completed project, obviously. And so I had ripped back a section, and I was thinking that I could just do like a cowl. And I am very torn, because I was pretty set on frogging it, but like now that I see it again, I'm like, oh, that would be so pretty to wear as a little cowl, like peeking out of a jacket or a coat. I think I'm going to keep it. I was really sure that I was going to want to frog it, but it's just so pretty. I love these, like, one of my all-time favorite knitting stitch detail is the chevron or the wave. Something about this just makes me so happy. So happy. It just, I don't know what it is. I don't know why that is. It has always been that way. Like the feather and fan, old shell stitch, or like this chevron detail. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna actually pick it up and finish it, but I just think it's going to be too beautiful to, oh, okay. So I need to do about twice as much as I have right now, so, and I have a whole bag of odds and ends of scraps in here, which you can't really see, but yeah, I'm gonna keep that one. I was really sure that I was gonna frog it, but this is why we pull projects out and look at them and see if they make us happy. This one is technically the oldest WIP that I have, and I've gone back and forth on this one as well. I cast this on, we are probably approaching 10 years ago. Yeah, because I probably cast this on in either 2017 or 2018, so it's getting close to 10 years. It has been pretty much unworked on for the majority of those years, and this is it. Hopefully it's not getting quite as blown out as it looks like it is on my viewfinder. This is just a very scrappy garter stitch. I was planning for it to be a blanket, and it's really fun because this whole strip here, that is a yarn that I had my one of my younger brothers help dye, and I knit him a pair of socks out of it, so that's kind of fun to have that in there. Most of these are my hand-dyed yarns. This one right here is like a Miss Babs, just a scrap, and then I think there was one other, maybe this like silvery gray, that wasn't my hand-dyed. Again, I hope the lighting is not too blown out. It looks like it might be on the viewfinder when I film sometimes, and then when I go back to edit it, it looks fine. So I'm not sure. Okay, I tweaked it slightly. Anyway, I was just kind of eyeballing this, and I initially was doing it where I was making increases every other round. I absolutely love this right here. This was like one of my favorite colorways I ever dyed, and it was just a random leftovers one. I love the yarns like this that have like a bazillion different colors and speckles and things. Oh. I was just kind of making it up, and I was doing increases on each side on every other row, and then it looked like it was going wonky, and so then I started doing increases kind of randomly for what looked right, and I'm pretty sure my plan for this is to frog it and then start a different scrappy blanket project. I have been thinking a lot about this recently. I like the idea of having a scrappy sort of memories blanket project. I do enjoy the thought of having something like that. I really would prefer it to be kind of like a lap-sized blanket, because it isn't something that I would want like my kids to use. It's something that I would want to have as special for me, and I don't really want it to be like a bed-sized blanket. It would just need to be like a little cozy blanket for like on the back of my chair or something. And I found a couple that I like the look of that are like center out blankets. The only downside with those is I do love a good garter stitch so much. So I'm quite sure I'm going to frog this, and then I will use it for something else. That is my current plan. But it's going to go back in here where it has been living for ages. And I will, yeah, I really just need to frog it and cast on the new blanket project that I've been thinking about. So that's that one. This one is one that I would really actually like to get finished very soon here. This is the fingerless gloves that I am working on making for my husband. I have one completed one. It doesn't have the ends woven in or anything. So here's the first one, and then I am quite close to I think I paused because I was on the separating out for the thumb. I think that's where I'm at, yes. And so I paused because I needed to look at it, and I just haven't picked it back up. This is one that would honestly, I could probably finish it in a week if I chose it as like my dedicated work on it during nap time type project. So this is one I'm definitely not frogging. I do really, really want to get these done and made for my husband because he needs them before fall and winter arrive. So I do really want to get this one done. And these are just a free pattern from Pearl Soho. And it was kind of funny because I had my husband try them on. He said he wanted all of the fingers like maybe twice as long as they are. And I was like, that's fine. I will do that on a different pair. I am not picking out all of my bind offs and adding like an inch onto these. So they're not perfect, and I will want to make a second pair, but we're gonna get this first pair done first. So this one is not getting frogged. I don't know, I'm not really feeling particularly inspired to work on it, but I would really like to get it done, so we'll see. This one, I love this one. This one is definitely not getting fogged. This is my retroactive pullover, which is in the middle of a row. It kind of looks like nothing. I haven't picked this up in a week or so because I've been working on some other projects, but I do love this one. It is such a beautiful pattern, and I really want to get this done for the fall time. So that one's not getting fogged. Then in here, I have this one I showed on my most recent podcast episode. This is just a crochet like bag, kind of a project bag idea. I probably have about a quarter or a third of what it needs to be. This one is just going to slowly be worked on as I get more cotton scraps and whatnot, so I'm not frogging that one. It's just a little, I don't know, I've been feeling very interested. Like I want to do some crocheting right now. I don't know why that is, but I've been feeling very, these scrap baskets have got me on a bit of a crocheting hook. Crocheting kick. My goodness. Okay, I've got a couple more here. This one, I keep thinking about this one. I desperately want to pull this one back out. It's so beautiful. This is my pressed flowers cowl, which very much needs some more work done on it. I love it. I love it so much. And I keep thinking about it. I very much have been thinking about doing a pressed flowers cardigan or pullover. And I'm actually now thinking about doing a pressed flowers hat, or maybe using the pressed flowers socks. There's a whole collection that I could do of the pressed flowers, but I think I need to start with finishing the one that's on the needles. So this one is one that I think, again, I could get it done like in a week if I focused on it, which is kind of a little, that's sort of what I'm thinking about doing, especially with some of these smaller projects that are relatively close to being done, is I'm planning to start trying and doing a random like spin the wheel thing and selecting different ones just to get some of them done and off the needles. Not that I want to just rush the knitting process, but just to get some progress made on them, because otherwise they just kind of sit and languish. Here is one that I know I'm going to frog. Although I say that. This is the beginnings of the Rosary jumper, which was a pattern that Janelle from Rosary Apparel has as a free pattern if you sign up for her newsletter. And it is a vintage pattern that she got permission to, I guess, make available to the public for free. And I was actually knitting on this when I was waiting and waiting for my second baby to be born. He was like 10 days late. It was very stressful, and just waiting and waiting. And so I had cast this on and was working on this. I was knitting it out of Yarn Bee or Baby Bee Sweet Delight in just a brown. And yeah, no, I am going to frog this because I bought some brown yarn at 2 different times, and it's very obviously 2 different dye lots. This is a pattern that I would actually quite like to actually make, but just not not in this yarn. It needs to be in something else. So do need to frog this one, but it is, again, that wave stitch. That's what gets me. And also, I really want to knit vintage patterns. I've wanted to knit a vintage pattern for ages and ages, and I just haven't worked up the guts to do it. It feels so intimidating, when I know it really wouldn't be. I would just need to sit down and focus a little bit. But anyway, this one needs to get frogged. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and pull the needles out of this one. Because this one, I know, it's been sitting there, and I love the pattern. I have been wanting to knit this pattern for like, 3 or 4 years now. It's been a while, and I got started on it, and I love how it's looking. And honestly, it's quite a good pair for this yarn because it does quite show up very well. And I think I would just need to go and specifically get like a sweater's quantity of this yarn to knit this sweater in order to make it work. So there is that one. I will finish frogging this one later. But it is off the needles. So that project bag also will need to get put with the empty out the project bag stack. Okay, then let's see what's in this one. Oh, this is another empty project bag, sweet. And the tiny little nugget of yarn left over from my solace tea, which that should be coming out in a couple days, I expect. But yeah, oh, this yarn is so pretty. And something like this can go in a scrappy blanket. So that just needs to get emptied. This one I've talked about recently. This is my Crumb cardigan by Andy Sutherland. I am in the middle of a row. Oh, I just started a new row. I made some serious progress on this. Was it last week? It probably was last week. I'm all wonky noodle, but I have joined under the arms now, and so we're making some progress with all this lace detail here. I would love to get this one done. I mean, I'm not really going to wear it until fall time, so it's not a huge rush, but again, definitely not frogging this one. I am really enjoying the process of that. So there's that one. This one I'll just quickly talk about. I'm not going to talk too much about it because, again, I have a whole vlog series on it. I need to start filming the final vlog for that series, but this is my Rouge cardigan. I am slowly working on weaving in ends before we do the whole steeking and whatnot. So obviously not frogging this one. Very tired of this project. Very ready to have it done. It just feels like a beast. Like, it just feels like it's been taking forever. So hopefully in May, this one will be done. But while we're digging into this project bag, I do in the bottom of here, this was just a tote I got from Hobby Lobby last year. Still has a price tag on it. It was $12 full price, but I think I got it when it was like 66% off or something, and I was like, this is a very nice bag for that much money. In the bottom of here, I have so much stuff. I have a crochet blanket that I was working on. I was planning to donate it. However, I am thinking I'm going to be frogging this one. I have a good bit done, but I just don't want to work on it. I don't want to do it. And maybe I will. I don't want to. I really don't want to. And that's why it's been sitting in the bottom of this bag for forever. And I'm kind of thinking about stealing this yarn. It might be too close to skin tone for me. I'm not sure. It might be. But I am considering taking this yarn and either trying to make like another scrappy basket with it, or it's a really fun yarn because it kind of has that, like, I don't know, spin cycle color changing aspect to it. Ooh. I've been thinking about making the framed sweater by Andrew Mowry. And this could definitely work for the contrast color, because it has that, you can kind of see here, that change in it. That could potentially happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon. This one is one that's just going to get frogged and stuck in the stash until I decide what I want to do with it. I might make like a shawl with it or something like that, because I do actually really like the feel of the yarn. I like the color of the yarn. I just don't want to make a baby blanket out of it like I was planning to. This is one of the things, I kind of have come to the realization that I'm not really in the season of life for doing a lot of charity or even much gift crafting. It makes me feel a little bit bad because some part of me is like, ooh, that's really selfish. But I spend so much of my life, not complaining by any means. This is my dream life. I'm happy with it. But I spend so much of my time and energy taking care of my husband and my 2 little boys and our house. And knitting is, and sewing. My crafting is kind of my thing, if you will. And I don't know if it's from growing up with a large family or with having a lot of siblings and whatnot, or from something else, but I just have such a, if something is mine, like, it is mine. It is just very precious to me and very special, and I don't want to give that up to other people. Now, that being said, I love making things for my husband and for our little boys, but I just, especially was thinking about that blanket. I was planning to do like a donation for that blanket to some sort of a pregnancy resource center or something. And I was thinking about it, I was like, frankly, I would far rather spend my small amount of gift crafting energy in making things for my husband and my kids. That's where any sort of gifting stuff would go, is for them. And so I was like, you know what, yeah, that's a good idea. We're gonna frog that blanket and just not think about it. Okay, we're not anywhere near being done. Speaking of gift knitting, this is I haven't touched this. I need to. Very beginning, so it's another one of my 12 cast-ons of a stick season jacket cardigan for my husband. Ta-da! Very early beginning stages of it. I'm not planning to frog this. I'm planning to complete that, but again, I think I probably will need to start doing it where I pick like a project like this to be a primary focus for like a month, and just get a lot of progress done, because sometimes when it sits in a project bag and it has this much work on it, it just feels like there is so much more to go. And I know that this would work up quite quickly because I've knit one of these before. And with this texture pattern that's in here, that's the back. This texture pattern, it's a really, really mindless, quick knit. Like, I so enjoy it. And it's on like a thick worsted weight, Aran weight yarn, and bigger needles and stuff. So I know that it would grow quickly. I just need to like dedicate time to it. So, alright, and then we're just going to do a brief little sneak peek of this one. This is a new cast on, so I'm not really going to show you much because I'm planning to film a podcast for it, but I love this one. I have been working on this one a lot. It's a vest, so absolutely not frogging that one. Quickly, I have a languishing sock whip that I have actually done a lot of work on here in the last week. I'm about to have a finished sock whip, which is like crazy. It's been so long since I've had one of those. So not frogging that one, very, very close to being done with that. And then in this bag here, this is my catch-all scrappy crochet basket. I love this thing. I have been using it so much. I don't think there's any other active whip in here. What's in here? Just yarn. This is a project bag that needs to get emptied. I have the base for another scrappy crochet basket thing. I haven't really picked this up and worked on it too much. I just haven't been feeling... No, that's what it was. I was working on it and then I ran out of one yarn and so I needed to get another one. But I haven't really been working on this one too much. I've got a couple other... My sock project kind of took over, and that vest project. Loving those. So not frogging this one, just putting on the back burner until I get some more yarns together to finish that. And then the rest of that's just a bunch of yarn that I do need to empty out of there. So let's see, what do we have left? We have my other 12 cast-ons and a, well, no, there's 2 non-12 cast-ons in here, at least. No. There's like half of these are not 12 cast-ons. This first one, I am pretty sure I'm going to frog. So, this is the very, very beginnings of the Sundial Tee by Wool & Pine Designs. And I was really, really excited about the pattern, and I went to cast it on, and I did a little tiny bit, like the very top part. There's a provisional cast on, like there's like nothing. I have the 2 shoulder bits in here. I was planning to knit this out of my 2024 Mystery Mouse Yarn Co. Advent Calendar. And I think I've changed my mind on that. Again, this is another one where I see it and I'm like, but have you though? All these colors are so gorgeous. They're so beautiful. I was going back and looking at it again, and I was looking at the pattern pictures, and I was like, one of the biggest reasons why I fell in love with the Sundial pattern was because of the really earthy toned sample. One of those samples is like browns and mustards and green, like it's a really autumnal color palette, and I love that. And I was like, that's honestly one of the biggest parts that made me fall in love with that. This is not that. These are quite bright and cheery and fun. And so I don't think that I would love it as much. Now, I love this blue. Technically, I could pull the blue out and use this blue and find some other more autumnal shades and do that. But then that would mean splitting the advent calendar up. I have to decide if I want to do that or not. Because it's more of like this, is it hue? This is a bit more of like an autumnal blue, and a lot of these, like this pink, is not necessarily very autumnal. Maybe the yellow, but even that's a bit too bright. Like this green would work, maybe some of the purples, but like this teal and this, like, especially these 4. Those are just not particularly autumnal. And I really do think that that's probably the biggest reason why I fell in love with the Sundial top, was because of the color palette. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be frogging this one and using these for another project, maybe like a scrappy sweater of some kind. I think that that would be quite beautiful. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that I'm probably going to frog this one. So, and quickly, this one is another one that I've just started working on. I actually need to measure it because I might be done with the body now. I have another nephew being born this year in like a month, and so I'm knitting a little baby sweater. It's going to be a summer baby, so I'm trying to do like a 6-month size, 3 to 6 month size for later in this fall, in the winter. This is more Baby Bee Sweet Delight yarn. Yeah. Super, super simple. I'm loving the process of this. This is the Tweety Junior pattern by Beta Jezik of Hedgehog Fibers. Or is it just Hedgehog Yarns? Anyway, she has a ton of free patterns, and this one is just a very, very basic, simple, easy raglan pattern, and I absolutely love it. It is so, so simple and quick, and yeah, really loving that. So that one should actually be done quite soon here, because it is flying off the needles. And then I actually need to cast on another one, but in girl colors, because some good friends of ours are having a baby girl later this year, and it would be exactly the same thing because it's another summer baby, so I'd want to make like the 3 to 6 month size. So a couple of baby sweater gifts and like stuff like that. Like I don't mind making those for gifts. It's just, yeah. This one is sad. I am sad about this one. This was supposed to be a test knit. This was the Fosteriana cardigan, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous pattern design. I really, really like it. It's supposed to be a steeked cardigan. I did not complete it in time for the test knit. It just was not the best timing. I'm not exactly sure. Again, I was really sure I was going to frog this one, but I have done so much work on it. This is knit on a US size 1 or 2.25mm needle. It's a very, very fine and tight gauge, which is one of the big reasons why I just wasn't enjoying it, because it is so, yeah, tight. It's supposed to be a really nicely, like, close-fitting cardigan, although technically there is no reason why I couldn't turn this into a sweater if I wanted to, and just not steek it. That is totally allowed. I think there was only like, it's a very small steek panel in the middle. Like, it's a very, especially with this gauge, it's like maybe adding like half an inch or an inch or something. So if it was a little bit looser, the thought of frogging this after all the work that I put into it is really gutting. But I hadn't thought of just finishing it as a sweater, because I've already decided I'm not going to try and do the color work at the bottom. It's this gorgeous tulip color work, and I really, really wanted to. I love tulips. Tulips have been my favorite flowers for such a long time. But it's a more complicated color work because it has like cables in it. It's got quite long floats. I just don't want to. I just do not want to deal with that. And so there's a couple options. I don't think I'm going to frog it anymore. I think I'm going to continue it. Especially because it's at the point now where I'm under the sleeves, or under the arms, and it just needs to be knitting around for a million years. I think what I could do if I wanted to around the hem, if I still wanted to do some sort of a color work detail, I could very easily find like a simple chart that has short floats, easy mindless color work, and I could do that. That would be one option. And then just either, and then I just have to decide whether or not I wanted to do the cardigan or just leave it as like a pullover. Yeah, I think I am going to keep it. It was so much work. And I love the color. The color is quite nice. This is a 100% wool. No, it's not a superwash yarn. So it's a little scratchy, but I think if I did it as a sweater and I wore it with like a t-shirt underneath or something, yeah, I think I just need to accept that I don't want to do the color work on it. As beautiful as the color work is, I just don't want to do it. I need to check and see how this neck would look. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not sure if it would be long enough, because the other option, I guess, is that I could always like do a partial steek. I don't know. I think I'm just going to try and knit on this one here and there, and yeah. I was sure I was going to frog this one. My goodness, I keep keeping projects that I thought I was going to frog. So there's that one. This one I don't think is even a project. This was a hat. Yes, it is not a project. I was knitting a hat for myself, and then I realized it was coming out too big, so I frogged it back. I just needed to knit the hat. So that one's like it's not even a project right now, but it's there. This one, again, this was another failed, well, I completed the test knit in plenty of time. That was all fine and good. Like, it was all, yeah. However, I found that I did not like wearing it, and I decided that I was gonna frog it. And so I frogged it, mostly. This was the double speak pullover, and it was a really, really cute sweater, very cute, but I wore it a couple of times and I absolutely hated the feeling of like the crocheted sleeves with the amount of airflow that came in through there. I was just like, I couldn't stand it. And so I didn't wear it, and I was just like, you know what? This is clearly not meant to be. So I frogged most of it. I frogged all the knitted part of it, and I took off a bunch of the squares because I had the thought that I could turn this into an Agnes sweater vest, or Agnes Granny Square vest or something. It's a free pattern, and there's a paid for version now. There's a free pattern and a paid for version. I can't remember which way this was gonna go, but basically it's like you just turn it into a vest instead of a sweater. Like, I realized I could leave several of the squares together to turn it into the vest, and that would be an option. That being said, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to deal with putting the rest of the granny squares on, and this is one that I've thought about a few times where I'm just like, ugh, I just don't know that I want to. I'm not sure. I'm really, really not sure. It's hard for me to know. The thought of working on this does not make me super happy, but that could just be because of the mind frame that I'm in right now. So, unfortunately, I think this one is going to wait a little bit longer before I make any sort of a firm decision on it. This is a bunch of the brown yarn. This was how I found out that there was a very clear difference between the dye lots because of the sweater. So one option is instead of doing that, is I could use these yarns and just knit like a scrappy, because I have all these balls of different colors of this Yarn Bee Sweet Delight yarn. I could make like a scrappy, stripy sort of a sweater with it. That would be one option. I'm just not sure. I'm really not sure. Yeah, like I put a lot of work into it, but I've already frogged so much of it. Like, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to frog some more of it. Decisions. I'm not sure. I think this one is going to have to sit for a little bit longer and percolate, and I'll have to think about it. Okay, we are getting down to the bottom of the bag. It looks like we only have 2 left. My goodness. All right, what is in here? We're gonna, okay, again, these last 2 are a little bit, I'm not sure. This one, I cannot remember the name of the title, or the name of the pattern. It's like a Muir cowl or something like that. And it's this gray, and then all of these hand-dyed mini skeins that I was planning to use as an edging, feather and fan detail on the bottom. Again, I was really sure I was going to frog it, but now that I'm pulling it out, no, I think I do still like the vision of it. I do still like the idea of it. I think I do. I kept thinking about it, and the thought of working on it made me kind of meh, but I do think I like the vision of it. I think part of my concern is I'm not sure if I'm going to wear it. I think I will. I think I will. Yeah. Okay. We're going to keep this one for now. Again, that's the other part of it too, where it's like, there's no, like, I don't have to frog anything, and I don't have to keep anything. Like, there is always, I don't have to make the decision right this second. So I think I will plan to keep that one. This one is one that I know I'm going to frog, and I'm not going to finish the project that I thought I was going to do, at least for the foreseeable future. That's the Knitted Nativity, which I have this very cute little lamb that I finished. I'm going to turn this one into a Christmas tree ornament. That would be very cute to put on the Christmas tree. However, I have had a couple of realizations, and this project is probably specifically the one that made me think about making this video in the first place, which is turning into a very long video. I have kind of been dreading working on it. I just really do not want to. And I feel so much guilt and so much pressure that I'm not working on it. And I was really stopping and thinking about it, and I was like, there's the saying, you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything you want. And I feel like that is like my life's mantra at the moment, because there are so many things I want to do, but I can't do everything. And so this is one of those things where I think there's like 3 different handmade nativity things that I have been wanting to make. and this was one of them, and then there was one that was stitched with like felt for like a advent like ornament thing, and then there is a like sewn up one, like a fabric one. It's like a pre-printed nativity fabric panel. And so I had these three like nativity, handmade nativity things that I wanted to make, and I was like, you know what? It's too much. It's too much to think about trying to do right now. This knitted one has just, I like the yarn. I don't think I like it for this project. I didn't love how it was kind of looking, and where you can like kind of see the stuffing through it. It just wasn't fulfilling the vision that I had in my head completely. So I think part of this is a yarn and pattern combination issue. But the other part of it too is like I just don't want to. I really don't. And I've been feeling all of this pressure to like do it, and I was like sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything. And this feels like one of those everything projects that I just don't need to. I was like, you know what? I need to pick one. I need to pick one of these nativity things and do that one. I am somebody who struggles a lot with decision fatigue, and sometimes there are so many options and so many things that I want to do that I end up doing none of them, and then I get really frustrated that I didn't do any of them. And so I'm trying to be a little bit better about pick one. And if you finish that one, absolutely do another one. If not, then just don't. Just do one. And if you still want to do the next one, do the next one. So, I'm very happy about this decision. I was like, oh man, but I've made the sheep. What am I going to do with it? He's going to make the most adorable little Christmas tree ornament, and it's going to be perfect. So, I have frogged that. That one is not going to be done right now, and I might use these cotton yarns for something else. So, final thoughts, final plans. I'm going to write down all of the projects that I have on my needles, because sometimes I feel like since I don't have a full list anywhere, it feels like I have way more, and it feels way more overwhelming than what I actually have. And so I'm going to write down a whole list of all of the ones, and then I'm going to kind of stop and think about which ones are like small, like accessories that are going to be like close to finishing, or something like the Rougeau or my socks, where it's like they're very, very close to finishing. And then I really think that I'm going to frog this granny square thing. I just don't want to work on it, and I just am not feeling inspired by it, and I think I just need to frog it. I think that's what I need to do. Anyway, and then what I'm kind of hoping is that I can going forward, I can start to kind of get a few of these finished and kind of do the snowball, where it's like you get one that's the closest to being done, you get that one done, and then you get another one done, and you get another one done. Because there are so many patterns that I want to knit. I have at least 2, if not about 6 sweaters that I want to cast on, and I'm trying to not overwhelm myself by having like 15 garments on the needle at once. So this was really, really good. I'm really glad that you guys were here to like chat through it with me. I think that that's all that I have for this video, which has been so long, so lengthy. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd love to know, are you feeling inspired by your WIPs? Are you feeling overwhelmed with them? If you are one of the people that follows my channel and you also have a YouTube channel, I would love if you made a WIP review video. I love watching those. They're so much fun. So this is my hint. If you've been thinking about it and you haven't like gone through all of your WIPs recently, make a video about it. It would be fun, and I would watch it, and I will comment on it. But yeah, I'd love to know which one of these you're the most excited to see me finished, if you have any input on that. Yeah. that's it. That's all I've got. I'm gonna sit and chill and drink some water. I feel like my voice is going hoarse. And write down a list of all of these WIPs so I know exactly what I have on my needles right now. And I'm so glad I went through all of this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and tagging along on this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're doing well and enjoying some cozy knitting and some beautiful spring weather. And I will see you on the next one. Bye!